And so we return to our regularly scheduled art streams every Wednesday or so. And I'm gonna be completely honest, I feel like a million things have happened, at least on my end in particular, for just this very week alone, ever since the last stream. Which was, well, one of the biggest factors for reasons why this week felt so long and so massive is because of, obviously, the Oblivion remaster. Which was so big that I decided to stream it the day it came out and also made a video about it. Because I noticed that nobody else really paid homage to the triumphant execution of the adoring fans, so I figured why not try it out. Another big thing that happened was that I visited my brother up in Vegas. So that was the most fun weekend I've had for a while. Okay, I'm gonna switch this over now. There we go. This is the reason why we're all here. So, I visited my brother up in Vegas. I did not do any gambling in the form of something that wasn't a claw machine, in case you were wondering. We got a little Plague Doctor plushie, by the way. One more plushie to add to the collection of Plague Doctor plushies, of which there are now 3 of them, including a little Squishmallow and the Plague Doctor from Darkest Dungeon. I managed to get the makeshift one. And now there's this other little guy from the claw machine. Also, this is what we're doing today. This is a character that kinda came out of nowhere from an artist that's actually in the, speaking of Darkest Dungeon, from an artist that was absent from Darkest Dungeon Discord server for a while, but then recently came back. He just kind of dropped this character on us, so this is more of an impulsive fan art, I guess you could say. I also did want to say this is probably the hardest I've ever had to crunch one of these kinds of streams, because I did not have the thumbnail nor the actual full-on piece for doing prepared at all before today. It did have some pretty good references though. If you want to learn to draw quickly, then just get as many references as you can. If you don't get as many as you can, just use ones that are good. And thankfully I had some that were good. But for right now, we are going to finish up the sketch here. Then I'll actually get to the lining. Because the sketch is only almost done this time around. The name of the person who made this character is Tilted Hat, by the way. If you occasion the Darkest Dungeon Discord server, you may see them from time to time. Also did want to say, because I'm starting the stream so later in the day than I usually was, because of the amount of prep that I had to put into this time around, this stream is probably going to be a bit shorter than usual. Which is perfectly fine by me. It's not like we haven't had short streams in the past. Including that one that was only 14 minutes long. One that was 14 minutes long and somehow was the first of these streams to break 100 views. I guess the algorithm just likes it when videos are shorter. even though these are, well, they're live streams. I shouldn't go with any more. Chester. Good to see you. Lemon Boy is a fine name. What if I decide to be a sentient lemon instead? Actually, you just gave me a drawing idea. You know that you know the Sonic eating a lemon and then dying meme? I think I'm gonna do something like that now. Good to see you, by the way. And thanks for stopping by. Alright, now for one very, very big and important detail that this character must absolutely need. That is her weapon. That is probably about the same size as her. Oh, and one other very important detail. yes, those are indeed legs. Size of tree trunks, no less. If you would like to know more, then you can inquire about the artist who made this character. I brought up very shortly ago about this is actually a character from an artist from that used to frequent the Darkest Dungeon Discord, but was absent for a while, but then recently came back and then presented all of us with this, with her. So this is more of an impulsive fan art more than anything. Was probably staring into the abyss for a second there. I had to turn away from the camera for a second. Hope you're not too distracted by the jiggy little guy down in the corner, by the way. I said before, might as well just treat him like this stream's version of Subway Surfers gameplay. Something hyperactive in the corner to look at. I don't be getting to your weapon like 10 minutes ago. we're good to start sketching now. Oh, I said I was going to start lining, and immediately I went back to the sketch layer. But for real this time. It felt way longer than only 34 minutes. It's not hard for you to work. Sorry to break the silence like this, but I just remembered of two other actual ideas that I had for this stream in particular. Maybe for next stream actually. For this one, I just remembered there was one there was one Easter drawing idea that I wanted to do, that I contemplated doing for this stream, but ended up not doing. And then there was another that I contemplated doing for a birthday that I also ended up not doing. So, crud. Okay, one of them is definitely going to be, well, technically one of them is just late now because Easter is already passed, and the other one might also be a bit late because the birthday might have been last week. It was Limealicious's birthday recently. Either recently or it's going to happen soon. I need to double check. But either way, my idea for the Easter piece, I actually already made an Easter piece, but I shared it in other places. One that I intended to make and could share everywhere else, though, is... let's see. It's of the Spider Boy himself, of the erected boil, who's on the front of all of these thumbnails. Except he's, I knew the music was a bit too loud. He's in a set of overalls, probably wearing a sun hat. Actually not wearing a sun hat, just a set of Easter overalls while holding a giant spider egg that's colored like an Easter egg. And then a little bonus panel where it hatches, but let's not worry about that. And then the birthday gift that I want to make for Limealicious was basically just her, but ballin'. Jarl ballin', if you will. And by ballin', I mean about to hit a slam dunk in front of a crowd of ferrets. With a basketball that's shaped like Mark Skeletor Joel. That's shaped like Fren, in particular. These are the kind of thoughts that run through my head whenever I do drawings and stuff. thing I just noticed is that this is kind of just a little bit inconsistent here. And almost an hour now. Once it does actually hit maybe 5 minutes after an hour or so, I think I'm gonna call it there. Howdy, and welcome back, Dragon Lily Chicken Gun. Welcome back, you and your very fancy both name and the way you type in the chat. I hope you're doing well. What do you hope about my doing well? I'm just poking the fun at the type of your that you used. But otherwise, I'm actually doing pretty alright right now. This week was very, very fun. Half because of the Oblivion remaster, and the other half because of the fact that I visited my brother in Vegas. So we went gambling. No, I'm just kidding. We didn't do any gambling, of course. The only form of gambling that I did was in the form of a claw machine, in which I won a little Plague Doctor plushie. And that's probably the only amount of gambling that I'm ever going to do in Vegas. Always fix your fan arts / drawing. By fix, you mean constantly go back to the sketching layer and making revisions? Sometimes. There were a few times in this piece that I did that. Draw spunky characters like Rowdy, Wanda, Gray, and Pink. That's not really a question, and I'm not super familiar with what sprunky is. Can be remedied with a very quick Google search, though. Alrighty. The lining layer is pretty much done, except for the sword. So I'm just gonna do a really quick rough out of what the color is gonna look like, and then I'm gonna wrap up the stream from there. I'd say this would be a bit on the shorter side. knew these colors looked just a little bit off. Okay, there we go. My blue light filter that was kicking in. Because for whatever reason, it takes that into account. I know I said that I would be wrapping this up pretty soon, but there is actually a detail that I forgot here. That crud. that, for real this time, I think I'm done for today. Now, I've said this before in the past, but this might have to take the record for what was probably the quietest stream thus far, if I'm being completely honest. That's perfectly fine by me. Because honestly, these streams are just more therapeutic than anything. I will say though, yeah, the crunch that I had to go through to make sure everything was prepared was actually kind of fun. It was stressful but fun in, well, stressful in a fun way. The fun kind of stress. Not the darkest dungeon kind, which is absolutely dreadful. Or every other kind of stress. But either way, I will be wrapping things up from here. Now on, wow, an hour and 15 minutes. That's actually, it didn't feel that short, but it actually kind of was in a way. But either way, thank you to Jester for stopping by, and also Dragon Lily Chicken Gun with your very, very fancy font. And thank you for watching. To whomever may be either watching now or rewatching the replay when it's up on the channel. So either way, I will see everybody later, hopefully next Wednesday. Have a very, very good one, and a good night, or good wherever you are in whatever part of the world. See you later.